ど底におるあの忍び。おい。
よく来てくれた。久しいな、狼よ。
お迎えに参上いたしました、我が主。
狼よ、傷を負っておる。役これ。いや、今、いしまみあそ。
芦名源一。
はっ。井戸底におるあの忍び。おい。そうだ。そうだ。
狼キス約束これ。いや、今、いしまみあそ。
橋の源一郎参る。破れられぬ。
Oh, hey, Salah, thanks for the follow, dude. Sorry, I just noticed that. Welcome in. Not feeling too yappy this morning, hence the title. But if you're a real person, feel free to chat and I will chat back. Otherwise, enjoy the gameplay and the music. I'm just chilling a little bit this morning for now.
その
お前そうさいいわ。
何手に入れ
しかしこそいいだ。お前 は行分正隆なり。では死ぬ。ポッパー。落ちておらぬぞ。ねきなしなおここねそどしょよこれをおごこいさ死者
ありがたい。そう。
参る。
忍びよ、再び間に合おう。
まし
おわすとたふしわお
できま
ふしおこの足
この
して一心さん
みこさ
お落ちるしなんそうし
みこさ
セクシ
不思議
御人そこの御人
我が娘その刀置いていけ愚かなり
Hey, Saviour. Where's your white sword on green background on? The fuck? I don't see your sword. How are you doing anyway? Oh, wait. Eh? I think my OBS is having problems with the chat room connection or something. Because now I just saw it with a broken image with moderator, the text. The fuck? I'll just turn the music down while we're here anyway. Sadly, I did get hit on Bull, but this is just a warm-up run. I say just a warm-up run, but just so you know. It's not a run. Got absolutely epic Elite 2 kill yesterday. Oh, nice, man. Well done. I'm not sure what an Elite 2 kill is, but sounds pretty elite. Congrats, man. I started feeling a little bit better yesterday, but then last night and this morning I've just felt weird, so I don't know what's going on with me. But there it is. Like a bit of tummy ache and the sore throat's gone, but now I've got a bit of tummy ache and like the title says, feeling a bit lost. So maybe it's just, I don't know, part of the recovery, I don't know, just feeling a bit weird. It's sit in the corner for 28 minutes. What is going on with my chat? Let me try to I can refresh the chat, right? How do I do that again? Refresh. There we go. You know, it's weird because it's reminding me of, you know, when we tried to get emotes in here with, what's it called? 7-Up. Not 7-Up. That's a drink. 7TV. I haven't seen like broken images in here for ages until just now, so I don't know what's going on. I thought all my internet was fine now, and now. I don't know what's going on. Let me just test something. A website that didn't work when there were internet issues is working, so I don't think that's the issue. However, things looking a bit weird. How's the stream? Is it alright? It should be, because I'm not seeing any drop frames and the speed looks fine. Speed test is immediately on 940 down. Be interested to see if you notice any issue on stream in a second when it does an upstream test. Like now. 943 down, over 900 up. Yeah, internet seems fine. I don't know what's going on with my chat. I will blame OBS for that one, I guess. Let's make sure I haven't broken my... Sometimes when I alt tab and I come back in with mouse and keyboard, I lose the ability to press R1 and press start and stuff on the pad. That's killed a few runs, not gonna lie. Anyway, I guess it's just OBS chat that's broken then. At least the images. You also did some Gyobuing yesterday and got a dumb kill. Sounds intriguing. What was dumb about it? I mean, at least you got the kill, I suppose. Gyobu was fine for me this morning. I just had a terrible bull where he... it was like the worst kind of example of a start, and he was going off in all the wrong directions. And then I just got naturally impatient and got hit. I actually just got in a weird position and got hit weirdly. But first time for everything. Okay. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with my chat in OBS, but that seems to be the only issue. Everything else is working fine, as far as I can tell. So now instead of a nice moderator sword symbol next to your name, I have initially nothing, and then half a minute later I will get a broken image with the text moderator next to it. I suppose I can live with that. Grind some more Gyobu today, nice. There's nothing wrong with a bit of Gyobu grinding. He's a good boss. He's a good boy. I thought about trying a different game today. I think I mentioned to you like Frostpunk, which Derman recommended, and Borderlands, which I wanted to do a throwback to. Well, last night I tested Frostpunk briefly. What am I doing? This one. And without spoiling it, I didn't do like any tutorials or anything. I just went into a random like instance of a game and span around to make sure that the stream recording, like a test recording for the stream encoding, would be fine, and it was. However, I was a bit disappointed because the first thing you see when you load Frostpunk after buying it for the first time ever and never playing it is an advert for Frostpunk 2. It's like, hey, Frostpunk 2 is available. Buy now. And I was like, go away, I haven't even seen this game yet. What the fuck, dude? Then the next screen was another advert for something else, probably some DLC or something. And then I was like, go away. Then it gave me the main menu, half of which were just adverts for DLC and links to buy stuff from the store. And I don't know about you, mate, but that's always leaves a bad taste in my mouth when I see a game like that, you know what I mean? It's like literally just bought a game, never played it, and now it's asking me to buy more stuff before I've even tried this one. So that kind of put me in a bad mood. However, I did managed to get through all the fucking adverts that I'd apparently paid for. And am I a bit loud? It looks a bit loud on OBS. Let me just turn myself down a little bit. And yeah, at least tested a video recording of what the stream would be, and it looked like it was working fine. But the other thing I noticed was I can't play it with a pad. And the way I have my desk set up at the moment, I have sort of a laid back chair with a pad on my lap and the microphone on the desk in front of me. So, and then I noticed, oh god, it's going to be recording every mouse click and pretty much every keyboard press. And then it quickly became apparent that it might not be the best content for streaming, at least right now with my current setup. I basically need to play games with a pad for it to be chill. So there it is. I tested Frostpunk. It's probably not going to happen on stream anytime soon. And then I was like, okay, well let's look into Borderlands before bed, because I haven't loaded that or even downloaded it on this computer yet. And I was like, looking at these recent negative reviews, and I found out that the Take-Two Interactive, the company that I guess it's the publisher for Borderlands games, have updated their end user license agreement for all Borderlands games in this February, just gone. And now the whole community is at their throats saying they're taking away our rights, or if you read the new agreement, it's basically like horrendous and all of this. And I did read it a little bit and it looked a bit ridiculous. And I also noticed there's a Borderlands Enhanced Edition now, and you can't actually buy the original Borderlands anymore. Even I already own it, so I could still download it. But basically any new person to the game has to go through the enhanced route now and can't download and play the original game, at least through Steam. And the enhanced version had all of these negative reviews saying can't even get past the menu, just crashes immediately, played 20 hours in and now it's just hanging and I can't do anything. And I'm like, how publishers, like 2 games that I was excited to play after this one on stream, publishers have basically just fucking ruined them. All in the name of stupid end user license agreements and fucking money, because they just want to sell DLC left, right and centre in the next game, and don't actually care about the customers. I mean, of course they don't. They're just in it for the money, the fucking publishers, aren't they? So that put me in a bad mood before last night as well. 2025 gaming, yeah, apparently. Anyway, so that's the first rant of today. Fucking anti-game publishers, because they are evil, money-grabbing cunts, basically, and nothing else. Because they don't make the games, the developers make the games. All they do is get in the way of developers making good games and try to stick their filthy paws in and mess things up to try to grab more money from the gamers. What's the world turning into? Well, it's already turned into it, and I've already gone over that lots in it. So basically, yeah, I wasn't in the best mood this morning, not feeling great either after the illness, and which is why for the first 40 minutes of the stream before you came in, I was just on mute listening to music, and oh hey, Blushing Wolf's there in the background. Welcome back, dude. Economics, mechanics, yeah, it's just, if you do end up hanging out here more often, you will, the whole point of this stream is to make the world a better place, like I might have mentioned yesterday, so you will hear a lot of societal critique here. And ideas, alternative ideas being discussed for how easily the world could be a better place. Because that's what I'm all about for the rest of my life. That's what I'm doing. I am anti-money, anti-power structures, anti-arbitrary like rule systems that just get in the way of human creativity and productivity. And we're going to try to smash those barriers down and make a better world. Anyway, that's the example for today. Fucking game publishers, man. I mean, it's such an old game as well, Borderlands. I was playing it, what, 17 years ago or something stupid? And now not only can you not download the original game, the publishers have plastered some brand new ridiculous end user license agreement over it, pissed the community off with that, and then made the enhanced edition full of bugs and all sorts because of some launcher that they've probably put on top of it, designed to sell you other Borderlands and other Take-Two Interactive products before you even play the game that you just want to fucking play. Just like Frostpunk with its main menu, half of it's just fucking adverts, buy now, buy this DLC. This DLC is available. By the way, try Frostpunk 2. I haven't even played Frostpunk 1 yet. I just bought it. Okay. There it is. Deep breaths, everybody. How are you, Wolf? Welcome back. Wait, why can't I move? Did I alt-tab? Probably. Deep breaths, everybody. Okay, we're gaming. Bloody hell, man. Humanity is so dumb. But it doesn't have to be. It really doesn't have to be. We all just need to stand up for what's right and say no to what's wrong. And that's all of our individual and collective responsibilities. Whew. Yeah, what was the dumb kill of Gyobu as well, Saviour? Maybe it's hard to describe in text. Oh, by the way, I think it was the first time I fought Ishin yesterday with the new strat. It just worked beautifully. I think it did. So thanks again for that. It's such a cool strat, I love it. And I'm actually surprised at how quickly I've sort of adopted it. Seemingly. He says as he's probably about to ruin it the first time I fight Ishin this morning, but I don't care. Unfortunately, the world has a number of finite resources unfairly distributed among an ever-growing number of people, and I just got the wrong grapple point. Nice. Can't look pretty. Yeah, I think that's the old view of the world. I think with our modern technology and our abilities now, I think this view of scarcity is actually, if it's propagated at all these days, is just used to manipulate people through fear and control. Because if you think about it, I'm pretty sure I'm right in saying that if we wanted to, given our technology and our abilities and our information these days, and I'm talking about real information, not all the misinformation that's out there just generating money from outrage, hatred, and confusion, because that's the only reason it's there. It's to generate money. From ad revenue and all of that shit. I'm pretty confident in saying that we could feed, home, clothes, water, provide healthcare for, provide basic needs for every single human being on the planet, given our technology and our abilities and our knowledge that we have now in this century. If we focused our activity on doing that and then building on that, I'm pretty confident that that would not be a problem. That we could definitely achieve that quite easily. So yeah, this idea of scarcity and finite resources, there might be finite resources in terms of, you know, maybe we couldn't, maybe every single person couldn't have every single gadget available to Western civilization because there isn't enough lithium currently or something like that. But, you know, starting with basic needs, I'm pretty sure we can get everyone's basic needs met. Am I still loud? It looks loud on OBS. I'm approaching the red. Let me turn myself down a bit more. Does that make sense? Do you agree, or do you think I'm wrong? I'm interested to hear your view. But I'm pretty sure we could do that. For example, how many human beings in Western society just play with money and make money from money, like in the financial services sector, in insurance, in accounting, in all the layers of bureaucracy, managerial roles, and all of that shit that's not productive and it's just imposing control and power structures. Think about all that human activity, and if that was actually turned towards, right, now you can go off and be productive in any interesting, naturally motivated way that you naturally have as a human being. Suddenly all of that meaningless, pointless, geared towards only consumption and nothing productive human activity and energy and life could be directed into something like into meaningful, productive work. And that's just one example of one pointless industry. Another one is the beauty industry, which just makes people feel bad so that they have to buy beauty products and get fake boobs and butt lifts so that they feel acceptable to themselves and other people, which is obviously also all in the service of money and only damaging and not productive at all in any way. Well, obviously you're right, only if some would agree to give up on their insane amount of benefits. It's the very nature of capitalism. Yeah, I mean, and that's my challenge, is that the benefits that you mentioned there aren't actually benefits. Like, what I propose is a world where even the richest would have better lives because they would have more meaningful, fulfilling directions and purposes other than making more money. So while some might think, oh, I've got a great life, look at my yacht, look at my private jet, look at my 7 houses or whatever it is, material possessions, right? How many of those people are actually under the surface really depressed? And how many people actually end up killing themselves, even if on the surface everyone says, oh, they're successful and they've got everything they could possibly want? Why are they depressed? Well, they're depressed because it's actually meaningless. And they're just on a wild goose chase for some sort of meaning in society where there is none, because it's all in the surface of money and consuming, at least in the West. And of course we're just utilizing pseudo-slave labor from places like Africa, the Congo, who are doing our mining for our minerals, for our rechargeable batteries, and getting, if they're lucky, $1 a day for it, and if they're lucky, making it to their 30s, because most of them die in like mine collapses and horrible cancers and stuff caused by all the chemical exposures and things like that. That's the ugly side of our consumerism that we don't see because we're not meant to see it, because it's hidden under layers and layers and layers of companies and corporations that, you know, go through China and all sorts of other countries, that then for us, we just think, oh, I want to make a product with a battery in it. How do I get batteries? Well, this company in China sells the batteries, so I just buy them from there, and that's where they come from. They don't think, well, how did China get them? Where do they get the natural resources from? And go to the actual, like all the way down the line of production to where the natural minerals are coming from, and how much damage that's doing to humanity at the bottom rungs of it. How did I get there? You were talking about benefits. Yeah, so the point is, everyone could have a more meaningful life. Those poor miners in the Congo absolutely could. But also the richest people in the world could too, because they would be part of a more meaningful society that isn't based around money and consumption, where they could have much more meaningful, fulfilling lives, and they wouldn't need or wouldn't feel the need for those quotes benefits, material benefits that you're referring to. You already imagined a really meaningful society would start with spotting very early what someone is really good at and bringing your contributions to. Absolutely, yeah, this is what I think too. Would be so rewarding, yeah. Just rewarding by its own merit, because that person is naturally motivated and interested in that thing. And it's like, you have the opportunity to go and do that. You have access to all the information you need. The information is trustworthy because it isn't in amongst like 90% of the misinformation in the world that's only there currently to make money, because we've taken money out of the equation now. And, you know, everyone's valued for their contribution to society. Not only that, everyone loves what they do, because you would only be doing it if you love what you do. And if you suddenly don't love what you're doing, you have every opportunity that humanity can offer you to change what you're doing. At the moment, like for me, for example, just because I ended up working in IT, I couldn't get a job in doing anything else if I wanted to. And I've been through that process. So I just stopped looking for work, because it's like, well, there's no point. A garagist would not be less valued than, say, a trader, because guess what? Without the garagist, the trader would not be able to go to work or enjoy a weekend. Yeah, and everyone would appreciate what they're part of. Not only that, you would get rid of all of these like industries that aren't only meaningless, they are actually just damaging, like the beauty industry, the financial services industry, the like the insurance industry, etc., etc., etc. There are so many examples of bullshit, meaningless human activity that's only there to generate money so these people can consume enough to feel comfortable in their lives, in the hope that their children, if they have any, can do the same thing. All of which is a completely meaningless, unproductive context for Western civilization, built upon the shoulders of these poor people halfway around the world who are out of sight, out of mind for us, who are actually providing the raw materials for us to do that. And the whole thing is meaningless and pointless, with no real direction for humanity, no connection between us, no real joy and love and fulfillment available. So of course, in the West, we have an epidemic of mental health issues and depression and suicide and people driving into crowds of people and shooting up schools and stuff because they go off the rails, because they don't understand why they feel so shit, and they just want to blow everything up because the human mind needs something to connect to. And if there's nothing meaningful to connect to, it's going to start reaching out for all sorts of horrendous things like ideologies and stuff like that. So back to your original point, I think we have plenty of resource, given how many humans there are on the Earth, and our technology and our knowledge. If all we have to do is put it to good use and be meaningfully connected with a meaningful purpose, and we wouldn't struggle for resources, at least for basic needs. And then any resource issues after that, well, everyone can work together to resolve them. And that'll be fun, it'll be interesting, there will be problems, there will be difficulties, of course. But we start from a place of connection with all basic needs met. Everyone has the opportunity to do whatever they want to contribute. There's no financial traps, there's no monetary system, there's no control, there's no unnecessary managerial bureaucracies making you be at your desk between 8 and 6 every day, and that's their job. You know, none of the bullshit in the world, of which there is so much. Instead, people will start doing meaningful work, and they would be so much happier for it. And then they would have meaningful connections with other human beings through friendships and relationships that mean something, because you're working with like-minded people following a passion, not following a meaningless imaginary thing called money, which doesn't even exist. Yeah, exactly. Capitalism is individualist, and it causes greed. I think most people think that greed, given that we can currently resolve at least this idea of scarcity, right? Because all of our basic needs could be met. We could look after each other together. That's definitely possible. And the fact that we are at that stage of development and evolution, this idea of greed is archaic, and it only comes from the separation that comes with a monetary system. That as soon as you have a monetary system, that immediately disconnects me and you, because one of us is going to have more money than the other, which is a dividing line, right? So one of us is going to have more power to consume and manipulate other people than the other person. And there's no need for that. Get rid of that, because so much corruption and meaningless activity comes from the pursuit of that power, so that one of us can, quotes, feel better than the other because they're more successful, quotes. But it's just an illusion. Exactly. And part of the problem is things like charities and stuff, because then it makes people in meaningless activities, like, say, working for the beauty industry or the financial services industry or something like that, say, oh, I go to church every weekend and I don't donate to charity every month, so I'm a good person. So it just keeps that system going rather than challenges it. And of course, charities are mostly built of, salaries for people, for fundraisers, so that they can recruit more fundraisers, so that they can pay more salaries to fundraisers. And it's just people making money from an issue rather than resolving the issue, which is why charities have no effect, really. You know what I mean? If they did, we wouldn't need them anymore. Exactly. Donate your time and your efforts and actually do what needs to be done, i.e. helping people. Not like working for a charity, becoming a fundraiser, asking people for more money so that they can pay your salary to ask people for more money so that you can, it's just some kind of stupid, crazy, pointless activity. Like so much that comes from the monetary system. Which is why I'm in this position now where I'm like, okay, so I could have easily killed myself in the last few years, feeling depressed about this stuff. I've come out of that depression, somehow I've survived it, so I've got a bonus last half of my life now, or however long it may last. and I'll be damned, and it's impossible for me to go back to just earning money for my own sake, because I see the damage that whole system causes. So now I just devote my life to trying to challenge that system and try to make the world a better place, because what the hell else should I do, and what the hell else should everybody be doing? So, you know, I'm just dedicated to at least try my best. And this is the start of it, this stream. Okay, mate. Oh, I hope that goes well. I hope everything's alright. Sorry to hear that. But it's nice to see you in here again, and hopefully I'll see you again and we'll chat some more. Take care, buddy. I'm guessing we lost Savio. He's probably grinding Gyobu already. But that was a nice little chat. Especially after feeling lost this morning and just being on mute and sort of, you know, feeling a little bit out of sorts. Meaningful conversations with human beings like that is why I'm here, and that's the sort of thing that helps me realign myself. So shout out to Blushing Wolf, and I hope his doctor's appointment goes well. Back around 10, he says, and I think he's in EU. So that could be in about 45 minutes or 2 hours. I'll probably still be here. Oh dear me. Well, I've still got some weird tummy ache going on. I don't know what the fuck it is. I really don't know what it is. It's something I've never really felt before. Speaking of doctors, maybe I should go to one, although I can't trust them these days because they're basically just glorified salesmen for the pharmaceutical industry. Why? Because of money, of course. How everything links together, huh? Look what just happened. Do you see the pickle we're in? Hello? Why does Sekiro pause after a mortal draw? Like, he just doesn't move forward, even if I'm holding forward down. Savio, are you still here? Can you explain that to me if you are? Like there, I was holding forward to move forward, and Sekiro just stands still, doesn't move, and like casually like sheathes his sword. So annoying, dude. What is going on? This is an insane jump. I think I'm gonna get hit here. Or is that what normally happens and it just felt slow today? Maybe that's normal. The timings of things in Sekiro feel different every day depending on mood and tiredness and illness. It's quite interesting. Oh dear me. Yeah, all I need to do to make that smooth is lock onto the guy. I think the last time I threw there I just didn't lock onto him. Being too blasé. Classic. Okay. Oh, didn't even notice that. Do these? I guess these guys just don't aggro you then, unless you attack them or something. I don't even know. Okay, sure. We're doing this. We're treeing. Yeah, we're treeing. Because of course it's all different today for some reason, and I can't do it like I normally do. And I don't know why. Oh. Okay, this is the worst treeing I've had for a long time. Yeah, it's definitely the worst treeing I've had for a long time. Okay. Now it's the worst treeing I've had ever, including my first ever treeing. Whew, deep breaths. Here we go. There it is. Keck. Oh well, at least I wasn't on a proper run. That would have hurt. So now we're on 2 hits. Bull and Gravity. It's been a while. Actually, it hasn't been a while. It happened only the other day on Gunfort entrance. Okay. Okay. We're doing this. You know what? Let's just try to swim. I don't know what happens. Oh, you can't. That's what happens. Hey guys. Don't mind me. I fell in the water. Alright, so out of a stream where I honestly didn't think anything was going to come, there's another bit of important conversation, I guess, to cut out for YouTube one day. Thanks to Blushing Wolf. And shout out to Savio, who always seems to disappear when we start having meaningful conversations. And I am intrigued about how it makes him feel, but I think based on what he said before, he's just not really thinking about that stuff and just wants to play Sekiro, which, you know, I can't blame him for that. Deep dive into the escapism. Shout out Savio, my Sekiro saviour. No style points. Right, 8 time. Just missed out on the confetti in the eye. I feel like Sekiro might be slightly too loud again, although it is, it is ape. And ape is the loudest. Excuse me. That's what you're gonna get, I'm afraid. I'm recovering from, well, I say recovering, in the midst of a cold, or whatever the fuck. I'm gonna sound like Corrupted Monk for a while. Totally forgotten where I am with the hits. 8 or 9 maybe? Something like that. We'll take the opportunity to rebuff. And stagger him now, there it is. Yeah, it's much better if I step back a bit. I have to step back a bit when I end up behind him like that. That was much smoother. Okay, should be good. There it is. Getting snotty. Lovely. Yummy, yummy, yum, yum. It's actually been a pretty good run. Like a bull hit that was easily avoidable. It was just everything went wrong and I got impatient. And a gravity hit that was actually quite educational. So far. Still got Emma and Ishin, of course, but great track, by the way. And since no one's here, why not have it a bit louder?
わし
です。
笑い
み、行儀。はい。
参る。
It's so warm. I love warm music. New strats. New strat excuse. Yeah, it's funny because I'm having to delay the deflect timing now slightly so that it's always the same timing. I was delaying the attack afterwards there, and that gave him enough time to attack in between. Yeah. But I mean, I've just changed the strats on him, so that's to be expected. And it's perfectly fine. Okay, let's turn the music down because I don't know what this one is. It might be good, it might be not. I'm letting Spotify go wild this morning, by the way. This isn't my playlist.
Might.
Sounds good though. Sure. was thinking about the music and the Sekiro sound level. Okay, there we go. Oh. What the? Okay, just, yeah, you weren't on Ishin. I charged Emma like she was Ishin there. Didn't even buff, like, hilarious. Clearly not thinking at all about what I'm doing. Buff, there it is. That's so funny though to me, like a negative from yesterday was finding out how those publishers have ruined those games and recounting that to Savio when he came in this morning, and then Blushing Wolf happening to be in the stream at the same time, and then us having a good connected conversation out of it. Talk about negatives turning into positives, right? That's funny. Another example right there. Serendipity is abound. Nice track, by the way. I love that new strat, it's so good. Ah, I was enjoying it too much. Still needs a little bit of practice, just to force myself to do that timing every time. Yeah, that's fine. I think we get him to phase 1, whack the practice tool on a bit, and just refine that, just practice that timing a little bit. I think that makes the most sense right now. Clearly it just needs a little bit more practice. Also, this is the instrumental version of the song, which I wasn't expecting, so put it down like a slide.
父上ひでぎゅはい
参る
Ooh. She almost slipped through me fingers. Or rather, me bonks. Alright.
再び
Practice tool. Here it is. No dead, no damage. There we go.
修羅をなろうとはな
Yeah. That's why we're doing it. Nice. Give me more of that, old man. Actually, more of that too, yeah. It's good stuff. Give me it. The perpetual Legion dance. Man, it's enough to put you to sleep, I swear, it's so hypnotic. Yeah, so I was doing it too early. I figured that would happen after so many of them. I would be pressing parry too early. There it is. You just press it like just before your attack, basically. It's almost too relaxing. Yeah, my brain started to shut off, you see. Oi. Oi. Let me up. Okay. Corner problems. Grandpa, can you please... Hello? This is so rude. Can you not? Okay. I'm literally stuck. There it is. Yeah. Alright. Okay, dude. Sure. There we go. Let's dance again. Okay, never mind. Why does my tummy hurt in a weird way? I don't like it. Got to figure out what's going on there. Yeah, too early. This is why we're doing it. We've got to stop that too early. There it is. And now we're just getting worse at everything apparently. Which is fine. When I'm not feeling great, it's probably going to happen. What is up with my stomach? I thought it was like an ab muscle ache initially, but it can't be because I haven't been climbing for a week and I've basically been chilling for the past few days since I've been ill. So maybe it's to do with the illness, maybe it's to do with dietary experimentation. It's not like I'm eating anything bad, or shouldn't be anyway. Don't know, dude. Okay, we're getting later now, that's good. You can't relax too much though, because things can go wrong and still require your attention sometimes. Imagine making Ishin too relaxing so that you just don't pay enough attention to him anymore, and then he'll catch you out. That's probably the biggest danger with this new strat. You make it too relaxing so that you stop paying attention. And then on the odd occasion when you do need to pay attention, he's like, ha, you got hit. The way that you can get a hit in before the Makiri though, that's real cheeky. Okay, the meme. Always nice to experience a meme. Or bug, whatever you want to call it. Wait, what? That was too late? I'm getting too late now. Interesting. Well, that's not good. When it works though, it just looks sick, doesn't it? It looks so disrespectful to one of his, like, catch you out moves. It's just like, not only have I parried it real easy, I'm gonna get a hit in before the Mikiri. Shout out Saviour, my saviour. Connoisseur of Sekiro. Don't know why, but it also feels less stressful in the corner, this new strat as well. I guess because the attack after they shove kind of closes the distance for you. So if you're up against a wall, it kind of gets you away from the wall to avoid issues with... Because if you're up against the wall when you Mikiri counter, sometimes it won't work and then you'll just get hit. So it's kind of a safeguard against that as well. Because it's like, yeah, you've shoved me, but now I'm right back in your face. Oh my god, dude. Okay, meme. Survived the meme again, nice. It's also a lot more chill realising that you don't have to keep the left stick pressed forward all the time like it was before. Again, because of the constant attacking closing the distance for you. You don't need the left thumbstick down at all for most of the fight, except when he sort of, you know, back steps and you've got to close the distance manually. So that makes it even more relaxing as well. As well as the more consistent timings. What a beautiful strat. Yeah, there it is. Starting to settle into the correct timing, I think. His face is covered in blood. It's reminding me of when I fought Junichiro recently for like 2 hours straight in one fight with the practice tool on. The arena was just covered in blood and we were both caked in blood. Shout out to PC gaming and mods. that allow you to do this kind of thing. Big shout out to the community. Anyone who makes a mod like this. Huge props to them. Which is why it's quite nice to have his name on the screen right now. As a constant shout out to the guy that made this, who must be called John DeSantonado, whatever that is. Shout out John. And if you've got Sekiro on PC and you want to do this, download his mod. Like his practice tool. It's just a little tool. And you too can fight Ishin till the end of time. And cover him and his arena in blood. If you so wish. Okay. Still not quite there with the consistent timing. Got it. Or maybe I'm just yapping / tired. That's probably more likely. And still definitely ill. Yeah. John DeSandonato. Is that right? DeSandonatio? DeSandonatio? Is that an I before the O? John DeSandonato. No, it's cause of the H of Ishin that it looks like an I. John DeSandonato. Shout out John. For making this possible. Although I guess you can do it with Cheat Engine as well, but this is much easier to set up than Cheat Engine, which is why I'm using it. I'm not a hardcore enough FromSoft gamer to have Cheat Engine just yet. Maybe one day. For now, this is a nice little tool to use for whenever I want to practice something. Yeah, I'm not sure Saviour's right about the timing being the same. It feels a little bit... If I try to make the timing the same all the time, I feel like I'm in danger of being too late on that slash and too early still on the shove. It's almost the same timing though. It's definitely closer than it was when I was doing the old strat. But I think it's still worth staying awake and watching out for his animation. Because it basically, if you try to do the exact same timing every single time, you're like simultaneously right on the edge of being too early on the shove and too late on the slash. That's how it feels to me. It's like you're tightening the margin of error on both. Which makes sense. Because they are different timing attacks, right? So while it feels like you can do the same timing, it's still worth manually looking at his animation and timing it manually. Still worth having your eyes open, is what I'm saying. Eyes wide open. But he is right, you can pretty much do the same timing for both now. Pretty much. With an overall tight margin for error, yes. But yeah, like there, I was doing different timings and I was just watching out for his animation like I used to. Which I still think is worth doing. Definitely a sick strat though. No question. This is definitely a much better strat than Nico's. Which is unsurprising because Nico often stubbornly hangs on to less than optimal strats. Instead of listening to Sekiro saviors like Saviour. And he's missed out on a lot of character development and a lot of fun because of it. Because I love this strat. Oh, he backstepped, but I didn't see it because he was against the wall. That's a danger if he's against the wall. Got it. That's a bit like, there he did it again. That's a bit like Junichiro, I was going to say. When I first got him in a corner for a while, it's easy to not really register his backstep. You can see the animation, but you have to look way more closely at it. Because obviously, for the backstep, you're used to seeing him just go away from you. And then you react to that more than the little animation like that just happened. There it was. Okay, we did it. Up against the wall, that's good. If he's up against the wall, you've really got to stare at him. Just in case he does that animation. Because it's very easy to miss. I think just like Junichiro though, it's better to not have him against the wall really. Unless you're really paying close attention. In which case you can use it to your advantage, obviously. I pressed R1 3 times there. And now he's beating me up. Can you please? Apparently not. We are stuck again. Yeah, okay. Alright, mate. I'll take this opportunity to go to the toilet. Give it your best shot, Ishin. Oh shit, I thought we broke him. That was funny. Just came back and Ishin was just stood there. I guess our immortality confused him. That's kind of funny. He's still trying his best, isn't he? Actually, his AI looks pretty broken. I don't know, he's doing something different. Oh man. He just doesn't get it, does he? Alright. Let's dance with him a little bit more and then I guess we can go for another run. Oh dear me. Okay. There it is. Yeah, I see what I mean. Like, I was just trying the consistent timing, and because of that, that slash, my parry was just slightly too late. And then... There we go. I'm just gonna have to manually time it, I think, to be safe. Rather than try to find that tiny margin exactly the same timing each time. Just we recognise this backstep there. Yeah, manually paying attention and timing it, I think, is still definitely safest. It also keeps you more engaged with the fight, so that if something weird happens, like you're up against the wall, you have to notice a backstep or whatever it is, you're more engaged, you're paying more attention anyway, just because of the whole fight, so... Yeah, much better. Manual rather than automatic timing is still best. And by automatic I mean like autopiloting in your mind. It's still like you doing it, you know what I mean? Yeah, we're looking good. We'll go one more and then... Yeah. Yeah, okay. Nice. That's a nice way to finish. GG, Shin. Thanks for the practice, buddy. Okay, I have to... One thing about John DeSandonato's practice tool is you can't stop it when you've loaded it unless you quit the game. But, you know, it's a small price to pay for the joy of being able to practice perpetually. But if there was one bit of feedback for John, if you're listening, which of course you won't be, because how the hell would you know I exist? Add a bit of code that lets you exit it so that you don't have to exit the game. That'd be great. That'd be the icing on the cake. That might not be possible the way that it works, in which case fair enough, but if it is, that would be nice. Alright, let's go again. Ishin, the new Ishin strat feels like it's been tidied up, so we should be good, hopefully. If we get there, of course. Gotta get there first. And no doubt if I was to get there hitless, I would get nervous and mess it up anyway. Because that's only happened twice before. But at least it has happened before. So there is a bit of experience there already.
足なけに参る。
Is it me or does this sound weird? Maybe it's because I'm so used to Ishin sounds. That Jinichiro now sounds weird. Could be it. I think we're okay sound settings wise. Yeah, we should be.
破れられぬ。
Shout out Derman if you're out there lurking in meetings, buddy. I hope you're well. And didn't need any other lurkers hanging around. Hope you're all having a good... What are we on? Tuesday. So far. They have to be saying who's there, right? It still doesn't make sense to me why they would say those words in English and everything else in Japanese. So. Maybe it is just a Japanese phrase that really just sounds like who's there. Which is kind of funny if that's the case. Sadly, I don't think you get subtitles for that, so we'll never know unless someone who knows comes in here and says, actually, it means this in Japanese. And it is actually Japanese. Which would be cool. Oh, no. Yeah, I'm not paying attention. Doesn't matter. Not sure about this track. It's almost over. Ooh, the perfect ogre. Let's go. I don't think you can get much better than that. It's risky because he almost grabbed me because of it, but you know, it's nice to go for the quickest kill you possibly can sometimes. And I don't think you can get much quicker than that. Other than the killing blow, I had to go around him manually to get the backstab, but that was pretty sick. Not sure about this music, not gonna lie. Sounds a little bit generic. And a little bit poppy. Yep. Get out of here. This is sometimes the problem when you give Spotify free reign. No, I do not want a wall hug. I never want a wall hug. Never have I ever wanted to wall hug. Another well-behaved Gyobu. Fancy that. Shout out Savio if you are currently grinding Gyobu. I hope it's going well. Mind you, if you are, you won't be here because you'll be on your Xbox streaming it, I suppose. Oh. Are we hitless? Yeah, we are, aren't we? Not that we're very far in. Just reminding myself. Nope. There it is. Woof woof. Come get me. Alright, this is where we got hit last time, so let's try to not get hit on bull this time. Good start. Yeah. Excuse me. We'll take it. That was a clean bolt. And not a clean throat to go with it. Apologies. But I am ill. Time for some balloons for the old lady. Yeah. Right, time to get hit on Genichiro, I guess.
忍びよ再び間に合おう
Full of confidence. Yeah, there it is. I thought he was backstepping into arrows, so I closed the distance and he did something else instead. We got it. Happens. Question is, do we continue or do we go again? I'd quite like to be on a run past Genichiro, if I'm being honest. So maybe let's just finish him off and then go again. And I guess that was another reminder of I shouldn't really, if I want to be consistent, I shouldn't really be going behind him when he does his dance and then attacking afterwards, because he can do shit like what just happened. It's fine if he does that, but sometimes he can go off-piste. Alright, let's go again. GG's. Not sure about this music. Go away. All right.
Okami kiss. いや、これ。いや、今、あ、そう。
Cool. Style points deducted. And again.
その2
手にかしこずんいる。お前さん。
Yeah. Being far too greedy there. And in a bad spot against the rocks. Okay. I might just do save states now. Yeah. Kind of bored with the run. I mean with the running. And let's just there's no point doing tutorial Jinichiro again. Let's just go from Ogre. And we'll run through the bosses. And we get a phantom save state again. Naturally. Also want to check just to make sure the save state for Ogre is updated sound wise. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it might be better just to dodge into him there so we don't end up at the rock. It's more consistent if you dodge rather than run. Easy enough, right? That's all I had to do. But, you know, taking unnecessary risks. As usual. Trying to be too cute, as usual. Oh, that was close. Thought I was going to get kicked in the face. 3 well-behaved Kyobus in a row. Who'd have thunk? Not that this one matters, but you know, we'll take it. Haven't seen a side slam start for a while. Overturned. Would have been clean. Sadly it wasn't. There he goes. Easy ball. Ooh, first time chatter. Oh, come in, dude. I'll read that in a second. Don't know, save it as for Hitless, but you can fault of Genie before the big combo. Oh, really? Big combo art in. That is a very different strat. Wait, let's just go again. Bolt of him before the big combo. Huh? I haven't heard anyone suggest that before. That's new. Anyway, welcome in. Whoa, who is that? That's a good name. Very fitting for right now. Because I just saw a big box come up in the chat, first time chat, and I was like, whoa, who's that? Apparently that's exactly who it is. Go directly under you. Yeah, I've not heard or seen of anyone doing that. Generally, people say not to vault off him at all because it can mess up what he does. So I'm one of the few runners attempting him with vaulting at all. So I don't know if he can do random stuff if you do that. But yeah, I mean, generally that combo is one of the safest things. the worst thing to, the hardest thing to do is manage his backstepping into arrows, especially when he does it off timing. So that's really the only dangerous thing with him. And the quick slash if you're expecting something else to happen and you don't collect in time. And that as well. If you're up against the wall. Sometimes the Mikiri doesn't work. Because of the angle. He's locked into that and can't be staggered. Okay. Yeah, so you can get some hits in like that. Oh, fair enough. I don't think I'll try it, just because, like I say, that's not that his combo there isn't a problem, and I don't really need the extra hits. What I should be doing is what I need to do generally is pay more attention, because I'm paying less and less attention more to this run in general these days. But yeah, it's about managing the distance when he backsteps and he's out of time with the backstep. That's the most dangerous thing. Everything else is alright. And one other things to do to mitigate the... I'm just yapping now. One of the things to do to mitigate the chance he has of backstepping out of time, like I mentioned at the beginning of this little session, was is to not run behind him when he's doing his combo and then get a couple of hits in there, because sometimes that can trigger him sort of backstepping out of time and stuff. If you're against the wall, we're tapping the dodge button without pressing a direction. When he does what? I don't think I ever dodge anything on Genie. Oh, for the Mikiri, oh I see. Yeah, no I did. It's just sometimes depending on the angle that he's at, even if you're locked on and everything, it just doesn't work. I never do a direction with it, yeah. Had the bad angle, yeah, it just happens sometimes. That's one of the dangers of having him against the wall, but obviously it can be advantageous to have him against the wall because he can't escape from you when he backsteps, but it can mess other things up, so... Okay, we got away with that one. Trademark, yeah. Indeed. He loves the genie fights and normal gameplay. It's so relatively calm compared to the crazy bullshit like going on. Demon of Hatred or Double Eight. I've never played this game casually, so I only know the bosses on this run. I don't know any of the other extras. Yeah, I decided to start with Sekiro AP1 Hitless. Before a casual playthrough. I did try playing it casually like a long time ago. A few years ago, whenever it was. And I got bored of it sort of halfway through, so I didn't get that far. I killed Genie, and Genie was the highlight. And then I think I got around to Centipede / Snake Eyes area. And that's where I just stopped playing. Yeah, it is interesting, isn't it? I think I'm one of the few people that's had that sort of experience. Yeah, I actually used that move on one guy on this run just because Nico does it, and I learnt the run from Nico. And I don't even think it's necessary. Well, in fact, I know it's not necessary because once I forgot to equip it. And I didn't have a problem with the other guy. It's the guy on the bridge that you have to get the key from to get the Gyobu horn for the loaded spear. He just uses blood smoke on that guy. I guess because there's another guy right next to him. But like I say, even when I forgot to equip it, the other guy didn't. He didn't cause a problem, so. You know.
我が無事その刀置いてゆけ愚かなり
Cheers. Bro thinks he's notorious. Yeah. Yeah, it's a cool little style point, if nothing else, using the ninjutsu there, I think. So I still do it. It looks cool. And that's literally the only time I use it, so. So why not keep doing it? It's not like it's risky or like adds time or anything. Yeah, he's been hitting me a bit recently though, since I started losing sleep and getting ill. It's funny, if you're not quite on it, you can easily mistime him. It just goes to show how close you are to getting hit each time. So it's a bit less free than it seems. If you time him, I think there's a way to spam it, someone said, but I don't want to spam it. I just time it. Ooh. Alright, time for a real boss. So I guess are you a hitless runner as well? How did you find your way in here? Costed a revive. Yeah. Then you'd only be able to do it twice though, which would be kind of sad. I was the first person you saw in the category, really? Whatever. There are definitely way more experienced and much better players than me out there. But that's kind of interesting. If you want to see better players, you can check out Savio, Connoisseur Bueno, and Croaks. I think they're the best Sekiro players that I've come across so far. Savio's come in here a fair bit. He's given me some strat tips and stuff. It's sweet of him. He's probably got about 17,000 hours in the game or something. I actually dread to think. The guy lives in Sekiro. Sweet guy though. They do like sword only, no skills, no buffs, all bosses, that sort of run. No hitless. Makes this run look like child's play, like literally. Oh, well, I'm not doing no buffs. I mean Savio and Croaks. The better players that I'm talking about. They do no buff, sword only, AP1, no skills, you know, sort of runs. They are the true masters. There he goes. Oh, I see, sorry. I thought you meant because I was using it. Yeah, they don't use that either. Yeah. I mean, it depends what run they're doing. They've done all sorts of hitless runs, so... in Sekiro. And because of that, the ones they're working on are... like, probably the hardest you can make the game now. So no skills, no buffs, all beads, all memories, demon bell, whatever else makes the game really hard. Yeah, Savio was saying stuff like, you know, he's fought bosses for, he's got videos of him fighting a boss for 10 minutes solid, like perfectly, hitless, you know, stuff like that. And I think one of the bosses he said takes about 40 minutes. On one of his runs, I don't know, just ridiculous, crazy stuff. So shout out to them. Maybe I can shout them out. I don't know how shout outs work. Do people have to be in your channel to shout them out, or can you just shout out randomly? Maybe I'll try it in a minute. Nah, this is the only ending I know. I know that if you choose the other dialogue option with Owlfather there, you get to fight Owlfather, and that changes the ending. But I've never done that. I have given the other option once just to see Alfado, and obviously I quickly died, and that was it. You saw Ongbal as the Sekiro god. Oh, I don't know that guy. Is that a streamer? Yeah, which is exactly why you do the Shula ending for any percent. As far as I'm aware, just from what I've been told. Is, while it makes Ishin harder... Whoops. Missed me. While it makes Ishin harder, it means it makes the run a lot easier, or something like that. He posts a lot of Souls games here. That's okay, fair. Have you come across Dino Singile? He was the guy that inspired me to try Hitless running in the first place, because of his God Run 3 that he got relatively recently. Well, let's see if we can have a tidy Ishin, because I've just changed the strats on Ishin, so... We'll see. Okay, we didn't get to see the shove, never mind. It's still a much better strat though. Shout out Savio for that. You see the problem I would have if Mortal Draw cost a revive point. GG old man. Nope. No, you don't get hit if you jump towards him when he does that fire. If that's what you meant. No, that was actually a very clean Ishin. I was kind of hoping for the shove to show off the new strat in phase 1. Because basically I used to do attack, parry, parry, but now I'm doing attack, parry, attack, parry. Oh yeah, it'll be the buff running out, yeah. It makes it look like a blip on the on my posture bar, yeah. Maybe that's what you saw. Time to kill Daddy. This is how you kill Alfado Hitless, by the way. Right here. Here he goes. Easy. You don't have to fight him for 40 minutes, Savio. You can just do that. Let's see if I can shout him out while you're here, actually. Does it work? Oh. Yeah, there it is. And I don't know if I can do Croaks because he's never come in here, but I think that's his name. Oh, I have to wait 2 minutes? Oh, interesting. Anyway, there's Saviour. He streams, but he streams on his Xbox, so he's limited to 30 FPS, sadly. But he's often online practicing, doing some crazy stuff in Sekiro, if you're interested.
兵士民草合わせて
That's great, Shinobi Owl Father is a different boss. Oh, really? Shows how much I know.
生き残りはほとんどなし。アシナは戦国最も
Shows how much I know about the game, which is actually very little, apart from this run.
その地には後々まで
Anyway, that was a decent run to the bosses, apart from Junichiro, but I was just not paying attention. Yeah, not bad. Yeah, we have gotten to Ishin Hitless a couple of times. And the ape a few times with a PB of 1 hit and stuff like that. So you could argue I'm very close to getting the run, but I'm also getting further and further away from getting the run because I pay less and less attention to it as time goes on. Because I'm more bothered about changing the world with this community than I am for playing games and getting hitless runs. That's just background content for something on the screen. Hey, Wolf's back. How you doing, dude? Welcome back. How was the doctors? I hope everything went well. I'm still learning. You all amaze me. Well, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I think I've clocked up almost 250 hours in Sekiro now. And that's been pretty much exclusively learning this run. Because I did a fresh install of it on this Steam account. And I haven't really played it. Well, I haven't played it casually on the Steam account yet, so. For Alpha, you have to do the steps for purification ending, then eavesdrop on Emma and the sculptor, then ask her about what you heard to get the owl's bell charm. Yeah, okay, sure. Sounds like you know a lot more about the game than I do. Why are you not running it hitless? Want to take my place? It sounds like you, you probably do a better job. Oh, my controller's gone red. Time to plug it in. Boop. There it is. Right, let's see if I can shout out someone that's never been in here, just out of interest. Oh. I think this is how you spell his name. Yeah, cool. Check him out as well. Him and Saviour are probably the best non-Chinese Sekiro players, I think, from what I know so far. You like runs where you can bash your head against the wall, so no reset stuff. Speaking of bashing your head against the wall, do you play on PC? You can get practice tool and you can just keep fighting a boss indefinitely. I did that a little bit earlier on Ishin just to practice the new strats. It's kind of fun. You just whack on a practice tool, put on no damage, no death, and then you're in Ishin phase 1 forever. Neither of you can take damage, neither of you can die. And I did that on Junichiro once as well, and I think I lost track of time and I was there for 2 hours, and after which the whole arena was covered in blood and we were both caked in blood. We both looked completely red. Pretty funny stuff. It's on a relatively recent VOD. Not that I assume you're interested in checking it out, but it is there. It is there somewhere. If it's not on Twitch anymore, it'll be on It'll be on my YouTube. So yeah, welcome back, Wolf. I hope everything went well. I guess I've got a little bit of time left, so we'll just do another quick run and chill with a fresh hitless run, as you do. Doctor gave you 2 days. What to live? That doesn't sound good. Oh, to rest. Okay. Oh, I see, 2 days off work or something. Well, that's something, I guess. Prescribed rest. Never a bad thing. I've sort of been having to self-prescribe myself some rest this weekend after getting ill at the end of last week. Due to lack of sleep and mingling with too many humans in the real world. And that combination can easily make you ill if you haven't been mingling with humans for best part of the last 4 years. I guess. Well, that's good. So hopefully nothing too serious, and it gives you a bit of time off. I don't know what this music's doing. Oh, interesting. Yeah, I've had a bad throat. Not really bad, but mine started with a bad throat on Saturday, and Sunday it was worse. Then yesterday morning it was the worst, and then by the end of yesterday it seemed to have gone and be okay. And then today I've just been feeling a bit snotty and tummy achy for some reason. I don't know what's going on, but it's changing, I suppose. Yeah, just generally a bit achy, I guess, today. A bit achy. Oh, well, I hope you recover soon, dude. And at least you got some time off. Yeah, possibly. It's that weird time of year where it's hot, it's warm and cold. Especially in England at the moment, it's been sunny, like wall-to-wall sunshine for the last week or so. But it's still quite cold, like only about 10 to 13 degrees max. So I'm in that situation where it's nice to go outside and sit in the sun for a bit in shorts and t-shirt. But then when I come inside, I have to wrap up and put 2 jumpers on and stuff like that. Which is always a bit weird. So yeah, you could be right, that could be part of it. You're in the EU, aren't you? I think you said. Somewhere in the EU. Excuse me while I get a tissue. Ugh. And while I get hit. Whoops. Oh, Switzerland, nice. I spent a good month or two in Switzerland in my camper van with my ex-girlfriend, who was German. Beautiful country. Although the way we are treating the world, the glaciers don't appear to be looking like they'll last much longer. Oh, you're French, cool. Well, your English seems to be good, so that's good for me because I don't know much French. I actually did French at school and didn't do any German. But now, because of my last long-term girlfriend being German, I know more German than I do French. So whatever French I did know seemed to have vacated my memory and was replaced by German. So since learning German, whatever French I had left from school has now fully disappeared. Sad to say. Weird how that works. But you work in English, okay. That'll help your English then for sure. What's your work out of interest? Since we seem to be on the same wavelengths for trying to fix the world. It's always interesting to hear where these perspectives blossom from. IT backend developer. Yeah, I was doing something similar when I was working. I started in IT tech support and then progressed through chasing money, effectively. I wanted higher salaries because the company I started in just froze salaries. Ended up working in the technical back end of business intelligence solutions like IBM Cognos and Microsoft SharePoint and Board and stuff like that. And that experience destroyed my soul, and I didn't last longer than 5 years in the industry. Yeah. Then I started trying other things like going back to uni and traveling, and I was just a lost soul trying to find my way. Didn't find a way. Got depressed, like I mentioned earlier. Got through the depression somehow. Touch wood. And now I'm here trying something different. Five years is more than you, 20 years of experience, never made it past 4 years. Your industry can be taxing. Wait. 20 years of experience, never made it past 4 years. I'm a little confused by that. What does that mean? Oh, same company, okay. So you've been working in IT for 20 years, but you've never made it past 4 years in one company. Yeah, I meant 5 years in total in IT work. So I think I was in IT tech support in my first IT job for a couple of years. And then 3 years in the company I moved to, which ended up me working in more, like slightly more of a development stuff, but more, it was more focused on the back end of this business intelligence software stuff more than anything. Like going to companies and universities and installing an environment for them, and then we would support it going forward and stuff like that. And basically our company was just making a lot of money from IBM Cognos being crap because IBM don't develop it and make it good, because we and they and consultants in general can make a lot of money from it being unnecessarily complicated and archaic. So basically we were just a big group of people, IBM and us as IBM partners, all profiting from keeping something shit when it could have easily been better, basically. And if you're a philosopher like me, you can't deal with being part of such a context for very long without losing your soul. Don't start you on IBM or Oracle. Yeah, I won't need to, I already know the feeling. They sell overcomplicated stuff to make the client dependent. Exactly! Exactly. So we were a small company as an IBM partner, profiting from exactly that. Yep. We could charge clients over 1,000 quid a day for consultancy because the software's stupidly complicated at the back end, and it needn't be, certainly not this day and age, so that we could all profit from it. Yep. Yet another example of how the world is fucked up, all in the name of money. Take money out of the equation, there would be no reason for any of that. So we wouldn't do it anymore. Simple, really. You were an Oracle integrator. Clients paid $500,000 just for a database, then another just 200,000 for a website on top of Oracle. Yeah. Yeah, there it is. Yep. Yet another example. And this is what we do in Western civilization. We play around with money, make money from stupid, dishonest lies and keeping things inefficient when they could easily be made efficient. And we could all be doing something more productive with our time. And we do that all in the name of our increasing salaries and our company cars and our bigger houses and whatever the bullshit we spend that money on. Yeah, and the clients don't have a clue. Of course they don't. That's the whole game, right? That's the whole game. The clients think they're getting a good deal. Outsourcing this stuff to companies like ours. When you were my age, you were disgusted? Wait, how old are you? How old do you think I am? Oh, do you know how old I am? Because I have mentioned it on stream a few times. Unpause the game, get immediately drop-kicked by an ogre. Oh, 47 fair, yeah. So a few years older then. Fair enough. Okay, so presumably you're still in that career when you clearly would rather be doing something else with your time. Because you are, like most other people, dependent on it for your money, right? Dependent on it for your livelihood. Because there aren't any other opportunities for you, because you have now been pigeonholed as an IT professional. Am I in the right area? Financial entrapment for human control. It's nice to get to know you a bit better, dude. I wasn't sure where I would see you again after yesterday, because some people just come in here, say stuff, and then I never see them again, but sweet that you're back. and we're connecting. That's what I'm here for. I'm not here to run this game hitless, as you can tell. You found a nice startup, gave up 30% of salary to do something that has a meaning. Oh, that's good. So you're now actually... Okay, so what's your startup then? What's that company doing? That's at least a bit of... positive sounding direction. I missed the window. Classic. My critique of the miniseries system does come with a slight caveat that sometimes, occasionally, in small corners of the world, people can still make a positive difference in spite of the monetary system. Maybe you are in one of those tiny little corners. But I still fully believe that taking money out of the equation altogether is definitely one of the quickest ways to change the world and make it a better place. The system you develop analyzes older people's patterns in their home when they live alone. Sends alerts to caregivers when the system detects distress at home. An intelligent panic button. Nice. That definitely has meaning. Props to you, dude. For giving up some of your salary to do something meaningful. As we get worse and worse at the game. Didn't even make it to the window that time. That's sweet, dude. Well done for getting out of the oracle and the corporate business side of IT to do something meaningful. Impressive. More meaningful than making rich guys even more rich. Absolutely. That is a huge understatement. Since making rich guys richer is not only meaningless, it's damaging for the rich guys and everybody else. Because it ain't gonna make the rich guys happier. They too would benefit from a different system. Even if they would argue everything against it. Because they're so delusional. Because of the apparent richness of their life. Which is all material and illusory. Of course. That's how you kept your mental sanity, yeah. It makes sense. And I have looked for jobs here and there quite recently since I moved back to where my house is here in England. Looking for jobs again, and naturally, obviously, unsurprisingly, can't find anything meaningful on the long list of jobs, which are basically work in retail or get paid nothing for care work, which is actually meaningful and actually something I considered. But again, a lot of those companies have bad reviews, presumably because money, again. And it's also something I personally just can't see myself doing at this point, so it's like someone else would be better suited for that work. Or what were the other ones I saw? Driving around, delivering stuff. And anything that I did find interesting, like a uni job for research or something like that. Of course, you can't do that without a PhD in the subject, right? Or any other jobs that do sound interesting, you know, you quickly run down it to the bottom and it says, yeah, essential experience, you must have done this job for 5 years before you get to try it. Of course, yeah. Even if I'm perfectly capable and probably bring some fresh new perspectives and make the whole system better, if I haven't done it before, I won't even be invited for an interview. Got it? Yeah, you can't do work unless you've already done it before, right? What a sweet system. So anyway, unsurprisingly, didn't find any jobs that I felt like I could do and that were meaningful. So I think the only thing left to do is do my own thing, which is what I'm trying to do here. And I've already, even this morning with you, I've already got more content that I need to start cutting up onto YouTube as standalone content, which is conversations about this stuff, in order to build a bigger community and eventually link everyone on the planet, and so that we can just decide to say no to big money and big government and all of that stuff and do things differently. Because I'm sure that given the opportunity, at least 90% of the world's population would jump at the chance to live in a different global society. One where they have meaningful, fulfilling opportunities left, right and centre. They can do whatever they want, they can contribute however they want. There are no financial limitations. Every activity is productive or meaningful in some way. No holds barred productivity and contentment and fulfillment, basically. I know that I would give up my entire life savings, which are currently starting to dwindle as I live off them, and my house and every, like, you know, material possession that I have, to live in a different society where I could wake up in the morning and go, right, today I want to study some physics, or go and volunteer on a farm because I want some manual labour work, because that's very fulfilling. Or whatever it is, you know what I mean? Whatever I want to do, I'll know that I'll be able to do that, instead of hitting some financial barrier or some bureaucratic barrier or some bullshit barrier that stops me contributing meaningfully to humanity. Because those barriers don't need to be there. Your wife had a burnout, so now she wants to change jobs. It's in the exact same trap. No one will give her the chance because she does not have prior experience. Yeah. It's an age-old story. So stupid. It's like, naturally motivated, interested, curious people, but because they've never done it before, aren't even considered for a position. Yeah, that's makes sense. Makes sense. Oh dear. You know, the most meaningful work I ever did was working for a mental health charity. Like you said about donating time, right? Not money. I thought to myself, I was working in IT at the time, but I was still doing like more than 40 hours a month volunteer work for this charity because I loved it above everything else. And I just thought, you know, if only I could focus on this and not go to my day job because I require that for money, life would be so much better. And then what happened in that charity, where everyone's a volunteer, even the directorate and the director? Well, the director happened to come from a business background. And when I became a team leader and I was responsible for like 10 or so volunteers under me, and generally for normal volunteers, I say under me, it was supposed to be a flattened hierarchy, right? But basically I overheard people saying that they were concerned because this new directorate seemed to be trying to fast track people through the provisional process so that they could become, quotes, full Samaritans. It was the Samaritans charity in England, where they could join shifts on their own and not depend on a full Samaritan to be with because they were provisional and needed some, support. Because for whatever reason, probably because of the atmosphere they had imposed on the whole system, people had stopped signing up for shifts. So when I first started being a volunteer there was a different director, and it was hard to get shifts. You had to book shifts quite far in advance if you wanted to get them. You wanted to get a slot. But now they were struggling to get people into shifts all of a sudden. Surprise, surprise, with a different director. And so because of that, they were trying to forcibly get people through the provisional stage before they were ready. Politics, even in Samaritans, yeah, exactly. This is the knock-on effects it can have even on well-meaning volunteer positions in the world. The mentality that this director had, coming from a business background, clearly fucked a completely voluntary, zero money involved system. Anyway, to continue the story, other volunteers were voicing their concerns. I overheard it or spoke to them directly about it. I spoke to someone else about it who happened to be one of my trainers, who I invited for a drink one night just so I could voice my concerns to him. I was saying maybe I should go to the director about this just to let them know, because maybe they're not, aware that volunteers are feeling this pressure. He said, yeah, that's a good idea. So I organised the meeting, said all this in an email, said I'd met with my trainer, and he suggested it was a good idea to talk to you, and etc., etc. Full transparency and honesty, like I always have. They said, okay, yeah, we'll meet. And I thought it was just going to be me and the director, but no, it was the director and the director for volunteer care, ironically, with her. Okay. So I'm quite excited about this meeting. I'm like, great, maybe I can make a positive difference here or something. We'll have a productive chat. But as soon as we sat down in the meeting, it became clear from what they were saying that they basically just wanted me to stop, and they actually said these words in the end: stop poking my nose in where it doesn't belong, stick to my duties as a volunteer leader, stop questioning their authority, basically. When all I was doing was doing my duties in this flattened hierarchy, supposedly flattened hierarchy, doing my duties, looking out for the volunteers, being a volunteer team leader, and bringing a concern of the volunteers to not only the director but the director of volunteer care in a meeting. But no, I was reprimanded for talking about this in a pub with my trainer, which I apparently shouldn't have done because I didn't go straight to them with it. I spoke to someone else in the organisation about it. Okay, so they wanted to censor me. And then no matter what I said, I was shocked, absolutely shocked by their response to this. And no matter what I said, I actually started crying in the meeting because I was so shocked with what I was hearing in this organisation that I'd loved working for completely voluntarily, that I was being effectively told off for doing my best to make it a better place just because they felt it was an attack on their authority. So shortly after that, I barely met my minimum hours working, you know, as a volunteer, and I stopped going, and I just stopped going. They ruined it. They completely ruined it. And I did think to myself, maybe I could have done better, you know, maybe I could have stuck with the organization and tried to change, you know, tried to, you know, do my best to change it. But I think I'd already done my best, right? I couldn't really do much more than going to the director and the director of volunteer care about this, and being not only shot down, but tried to be censored, and they completely disregarded my emotional response, which was to actually shed tears in the meeting because I was so shocked with their behavior. Like literally shocked to the core that they would be this way in a volunteer organization when they, you know, when I was just literally just looking out for the volunteers, which was my job by that point, being a team leader. And I just, it was, yeah, little wonder how that sort of started a spiral into depression, right? Because not only did I hate my day job, the volunteer position that I was holding at the same time, which gave me some hope for and faith in humanity, then did that to me. Yeah, they do, you know, do fundraising events and still like have money involved. The point is that no one was being paid. I wasn't being paid, the director wasn't being paid. There was no money involved in our personal involvement in the organization, and yet that still happened. They still played power games, they still played politics for the sake of defending their authority. And yeah, so it's little wonder how the change in directorate, and it was only then that I really realized, or put two and two together, that when I'd first started a couple of years ago with the organization, it was hard to get shifts because there was a different director. And then with this new director, suddenly there was a lack of people being available for shifts. So they just tried to force provisional Samaritans into full Samaritans positions before they felt emotionally ready for it. Because it's not that easy to sit down and listen to people for an hour on the phone talk about how they want to kill themselves, right? You need to get used to it. You need to be emotionally supported around that in a safe environment. And the whole point of the organisation was to provide emotional support to people in despair from an organisation that looked after the volunteers within it, so that we could be robust enough to provide that service for people for free, right? That's why changing a system is so difficult. People don't like each other. I think that's why changing a system is impossible from within the system. So now what I realise has to be done is we have to help people think outside of the system as much as possible so that they can actually start to see alternative systems as being actually possible, where you can imagine that money no longer exists, for example. Because money is a part of our overall system that needn't exist and actually doesn't exist except in our collective imaginations. We can't all wake up tomorrow and say, right, we're not going to believe in gravity anymore and we're going to change the system by not believing in gravity anymore. That's not possible. But what is possible is saying, right, we're not going to have money anymore, we're going to organise our activities on planet Earth differently. That is possible. Why? Because money doesn't actually exist. The same way nations and borders and races and things like that don't actually exist except in our categorically divisive perspective that we often can't think outside of because we're so used to thinking within it. So to change a system, first you have to recognize that the system can be changed. And in order to do that, you have to take yourself out of the system fully and look at it objectively to really see alternatives to the system. But value does, and we've valued the wrong things for so long. Yeah, I mean, value, again, is just in our minds, right? And it can change. You know, a year ago, I valued weed because it kept me alive because I was super depressed. And it was the one thing that connected me to a deeper reality and some sort of meaning in the universe. Whereas now I value it a lot less because I've realized that I was abusing it habitually. Yeah, it's just one thing that comes to mind where my value system has changed quite radically recently. And that can apply to anything. Value is very subjective. But then we can get into the whole conversation about maybe reality is actually subjective because of quantum mechanics and all of this and the observing principle changing actual reality in the real world outside, and are we in a simulation and stuff like that. And that's all fantastic and interesting, meaningful inquiries into the nature of the universe that we should absolutely be incorporating into our activities here on Earth as the pinnacle of evolution as far as we understand it in the universe. Absolutely. However, we don't need to get too entangled in that. We can start off saying, look, let's build a different society where we value every single human life and generally life on Earth, make it better for everyone and everything because we can do that, and then we can build on that more productive, meaningful goals for humanity. And we start with a simple vote. Do we want to live or do we want to die? Literally every human being gets to vote on this, by the way. Do you want a war or do you want peace? Do you want to live under the threat of being killed every day, or do you want to live in peace as best as we can manage it and have a meaningful, productive life? Okay, and we start from there. Say we get 95% of the population voting, let's live, let's be productive. Okay, we start there, right? That's a good starting point. Now we're all connected with something fundamental, right? And then we build on that. First, we might say, well, what do we do with the 5% that just want to kill each other? And that's an important question. Let's talk about that, you know? But what we shouldn't do is listen to those people because they happen to be head of corporations or head of governments and just want to wage war and make money for themselves. Because now we've made a new democracy where we say, yep, 95% of us don't want to do that anymore. What are you going to do about it, Putin? Huh? We've held a vote, you know? We're all against you, actually. You want to come and play with us, or do you still want to be a warmonger? Or do you still want to try to be a warmonger, for example, or anyone, you know what I mean? We value the wrong things. Life and humanity are worth money. Yeah, well, money doesn't exist. That's why it's an illusory value. It's an illusory. It's all money is. It's a shared belief system of power, the power to consume or manipulate other people, based on a number next to your name. The higher that number is, the more power you have to consume and manipulate other people. And a good starting point to change the system would be like, okay, let's not do things like that anymore. So let's just realize that that power is illusory, and it's only because we all agree to that every single day that these people have, with the biggest numbers next to their names, have power. Because I myself would easily give up my number next to my name to live in a different system. I know that much. And instead we replace it with, okay, everyone can do whatever they want as long as we don't infringe on each other's, you know, rights to live and vote and stuff like that. Okay, mate. Daughter's coming back from school, I have to go prepare lunch, back to reality. Yeah, nice chat, mate. Thanks for coming back, and you'll hear a lot more about that stuff on the channel as and when you do come back. So it was nice to see you. Hello to your daughter, have a lovely day. And take care of yourself. Enjoy your couple of days off. Take care, you too. Nice to see you. I will probably wrap up there anyway, because it's now 11 and I've been streaming for 4 hours. And yapping more than I thought I would. And feeling my throat again because of it. So if anyone else is out there listening, hope you've enjoyed the content. And we can change the world, and it's a simple decision between fear and love. Fear that you need money, that you'll lose it, that you need it to survive when it's something illusory and you don't. And love, which trusts, where you trust and have faith in humanity and goodness, and you align all of your activities towards that instead of fear and money and control and division, which doesn't lead anywhere good. Anyway, there's a wrap-up point. Much love to you all. Have a wonderful Tuesday, and I will be back in the morning. Take care, everyone.